Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sunita from Data Security. Please use the chat questions feature on the right-hand side of your window to ask questions throughout the session. Now, to set the context of the evening, I would like to welcome on screen Vinayak Godse, Vice President of DSCI, Devan Gupta, Assistant Professor of Computer Science Department at Ashoka University, Rama Virashri, CEO of DSCI. May I request Mr. Vinayak to kindly set the tone?
Yeah, thank you, Sunita. Welcome all the participants. We have people from the security profession, some of the security leaders, researchers, civil society, industry, and some of the key speakers joining us here today. So, and welcome you all for this launch event of the Cypher. So we all know that digitization is not only empowering the individuals and society, it also realizes many economic goals. And we had been seen in our country how the digitization is paving the way for a lot of the economic plans we are making as a country. So it is improving the delivery of public services. It's improving the experience of consumers. Also creating a lot of new possibilities for many businesses plus many government establishments as well. But however, this digitization is empowering all of us, individual, society, businesses, and economy. The assurance of security is very important part, and consumer trust is also very important part. And that assurance and consumer trust comes from the basic key infrastructure investment that you make on security, and also create an architecture for the assuring the privacy of an individual basically. And for all of these things, cryptography is at a core basically. And cryptography had been paving many designs of the security, but also it is becoming very critically important for the privacy as well. But last some of the years, the cryptographies have been attracting a lot of attention basically, and this attention, researchers for doing a lot of new research to solve the problem, industry to really make their digitization plan successful and secure and safe basically. The law enforcement body probably from the issues they have been facing with the cryptography, the policy maker, they have to look at all other possibilities and the way cryptography is playing role, and probably some of the challenges it is creating basically. And then it is also increasingly being featured in a lot of the geopolitical exchanges that we have been seeing around the issues of cryptography. Some of the nations are coming together to discuss about the role cryptography is playing and the issues and problems it is creating basically. So we believe that, and that's why it is leading to a lot of interaction, a lot of discussion, a lot of debate on, and also the cryptography or encryption policy has been becoming at a central part in last couple of years of time, especially last year basically. And as the digitization index of India is rising quite significantly, as the IT industry is playing a role of enabling a lot of digitization plan of the globe, our own product industry is also significantly rising. Our own individual life plus society is now significantly going for digitization pace, and we see when we are discussing all of these things, the last 1 year, a lot of discussion which are happening in this country, and we ourselves witnessed those discussion about the cryptography and encryption policy specific discussion, and we also hosted some of those discussion basically. So we just thought to create a platform for a longer and very consistent, engaging discussion about the cryptography and deliberation on some of those importance of the cryptography. We also thought about this platform, which can be a kind of an alliance of a different stakeholders coming together to deliberate on a longer duration of time to discuss and discuss about the issues and problems that we have been facing as a society, as a country, or as an individual basically. So this platform is largely to foster the nuanced understanding for the issues that involve in the cryptography, look at the different policy initiative which is coming for the cryptography, look at the capability issues that we need to look at from the country perspective, look at the overall ecosystem that we have been trying to build as a country for securing our digitization journey basically. So this Cypher is alliance for a progressive and a holistic regime for the encryption, and this alliance is basically is meant to really create that regime basically that could match to our goal, and this goal we have been all defining that the goal of becoming citizen becoming digital, society becoming digital, and businesses are becoming increasingly digital, and more importantly all that contributes to the larger economic digital economy of a country basically. So this alliance is deliberating, engaging, getting you all together to discuss about how we create this progressive holistic regime for the encryption. So we welcome you all for this launch event, but this is just beginning of this deliberation that we'll be doing in coming 6-7 months of time and during the larger duration of time as well. With this today's interaction, we hope that you will find some of those interaction useful and engaging and interactive. And we invite you all to join this Alliance, Cypher Alliance. Over to you, Dr. Debayan.
Thank you so much, Vinayak, for that initial context setting. I'll keep my bit short and sweet because after what Vinayak said, I don't really have that much to say. I'll just provide my own point of view, which is, as a cryptographer, I'm just always very angry. I keep coming up with brilliant new techniques and nobody's willing to use them. And this has been the problem with technologists for a very long time, right? Every time I speak to a technologist, it's like, I've solved everything. Why isn't anybody just taking my solution? And lawyers will say that, we just need to do this and everything will get solved. And the policymakers say something else. We have these problems unless we do A, B, C, D. And every time I speak to these different groups of people, I find myself leading different lives. And for once, I was absolutely thrilled when we got the chance to create this coalition where we could bring everyone together in one place and just have that conversation. Because we're bringing in so many new technologies into our world now, and I'm not going to belabor the obvious importance of encryption, not to this audience anyway. And it's been in the news just over the last few days. This is all happening around us. And believe me, nobody has the solution. I certainly don't. And we're here to listen. We're here to talk and listen and try and understand all the different points of view, get those requirements and foster these discussions so that together we can find solutions that work for everybody. And I hope and I'm looking forward to technologists, people from the industry, from law enforcement, from governments, and of course, my dear students. And I truly believe that we can come up with some amazing new tech and some amazing new policies.
Thank you, Professor. And thank you, Vinayak. I mean, to add to what Vinayak and Professor Debayan talked about, I mean, as digital projects and digital platforms are getting so mainstreamed, trust, I think everything hinges on trust. The long-term sustainability of the digital momentum in the country, whether it's in the area of digital payments, government to citizen services, or it is when you look at health tech or edutech. Now, online exams is a big thing that's happening in India. I think trust is extremely important to sustain this momentum. And when you look at the entire discussion around encryption or cryptology, it's nothing new. Over decades, it's been, in the ivory towers of either research labs, defense research labs, or maybe Ministry of Defense in various countries or national security. The objective of this alliance, and I would like to thank Professor and the institution, Ashoka University, for partnering with us, is to be able to get more stakeholders, communities like startups who are building technology solutions with cryptography, researchers from a wide variety of academic institutions, and of course law enforcement and national security organizations, policymakers, regulators. As a country, we need to remember that the biggest wave of discussion between an industry and a regulator in encryption is not very old. It was only 10 years back. If all of us recall, it was only in 2011 that RBI came up with some guidelines when India took the first baby steps around internet banking. It's only 10 years, right? Now, I think is a time when it's become so pervasive, particularly when you look at whether it's digital payments, the kind of e-commerce that has engulfed the entire country, whether it's rural India or urban India. I think we need to have a much wider discussion. We need to attract more entrepreneurs, technologists, startups into this area of cryptology. We at DSCI, we have established this national COE. We have started this over the last few months, getting academia, startups, large industry, startups together. We did a crypto innovation series. As we speak now, there is a lightweight cipher challenge that we had launched in partnership with R.C. Bose Institute from Kolkata, right? We also had a lot of discussions in the last few months post-COVID, and we had, summarized a strategy paper for cryptology. So the idea is to get more minds across industry, which is both global and the startup communities, and also the civil society and stakeholders. The objective is to have this academic institution like Ashoka and DSCI, which works with a lot of industry sectors to come together. Because when you look at the next wave of online citizen services, when you're looking at leveraging technologies like blockchain, distributed ledger technologies in various applications, right? We need to understand how do you build trust and where does crypto and what is the modern cryptography solutions that startups can build on, and how do we connect them with academic institutions. We will be hosting a lot of these deliberations. We welcome all industry members, civil society, and any researcher, even an individual, to come on board, participate in the deliberations and workshops we host. Hopefully, as we go along, we'll be able to publish white papers which we can guide either parliamentarians or policymakers in central and state governments. That is the objective. It is essentially an industry alliance. We see many such alliances across the world. I think we have taken these baby steps in creating an alliance where we believe the platform will encourage a very diverse set of people. All of us don't have to agree with each other to come and deliberate and have those rational discussions. That is the objective of this. Thank you for joining us, and you will hear more of this cipher and the objectives of that as we start launching some activities around this. Over to you, Sunita.
Thank you, Rama, Vinayak, and Debayan, to share insights on Cypher to the audience and the core cryptography technology in this digital era. Now let's move to the next segment, and today we have three esteemed speakers who will share their perspectives and discuss the privacy and security landscape from different angles. I request all our prospective speakers to join us backstage, and we'll get started presently.